Well. Good evening, chat. How are you all doing? Okay, you know what? That was my bad. That's my bad for not starting it the right way. Hi, chat. I'm trying to ruin your night, chat. What can I say? Come here for one thing, consistency. You know what? That was my bad. I should have known that starting any other way would cause a massive panic attack. That one's on me. So, chat, tonight's going to be a little bit different. In fact, tonight's going to be so different, we're changing the music. We're changing the music to the old school music. Because we're going to be just kind of talking tonight. Tonight's going to be chatting about what just happened. So, if you are behind in the campaign, if you don't want spoilers, tonight would be a good one to avoid, because we're going to be talking about the major reveal that happened at the end of last episode, and we're going to be probably covering larger campaign-wide arcs as well. So just so you know, I'm going to be talking about the bigger campaign things tonight. Major reveals. We're getting the narrative camera. There's no narrative camera tonight. I spent the afternoon taking care of Kaylee. I also realized I was a little bit tired myself. I almost fell asleep on the couch. So no narrative camera tonight. We're just going to be kind of diving in and chatting with the crew. Can the party just be hanging out in the noodle shack? Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Want to be here, but I missed last week. Oh man, I mean, Pocket Gnome. It's kind of like a high risk, because there's a huge spoiler right at the very end of the last episode, and that's kind of where we're gonna jump in on. Can we do Q&A? We'll see how it kind of goes. I think I want to do a Q&A episode. I think waiting to the end of the arc would be a good time to do Q&A. And also, I would not be able to keep this short if we did Q&A. I think if we do Q&A, it's going to be hours long. For first day member of the story, are there any major plot points I'll miss? So that's a good question. I would say a lot of it's not going to make sense, but hey, maybe it'll get you more interested in the campaign. Today's going to be a weird one to jump into. !podcast will give you the podcast link to the early episodes. Also, !YouTube has the entire campaign on that as well. So yeah, if you ever want to catch up on stuff, it's all in there. And then hopefully just chatting about the campaign gets you excited about it. Is Lovely Lou enjoying her rest? I think so. I just really want to know how far Galdric's butler has counted. Okay, I'll answer this one question. I'm going to unmute so I can answer it for them too. Oh, hi there, guys. Cool story. Cool hangout.
I thought I was talking and I forgot I was muted. How do you fare? How does Lady Kaylee fare?
She's still feeling it. She's still feeling it pretty bad. Wow. So yeah, I was hoping she'd be a little bit better in the evening. I basically prohibited her from doing Mar. I was like, even if you're feeling better, no playing Mar. You rest, you hydrate, right? So
Just tell your woman what to do, huh?
Exactly.
Tell her how to live her. That's right. Put your fucking big ass foot down.
Exactly.
Be like, I'm the big beepus of this fucking house.
That's just it. I put my dick down and I said, I'm the man. I make the rules. And I want you to get healthy again because I love you so much that my world would split into a billion pieces if you experience one iota of pain. Like a big strong man. Then I cried a little bit.
Nope.
Because it looked like she was in pain a little bit. And then I asked her if I could top up her water or make her some tea.
Oh, that's nice of you.
And then she requested if she could play more, if she was feeling perfectly fine. I said, absolutely, of course you can. Who am I to ever prevent you from doing anything ever?
Wait, no, you backed down?
No, I backed up, right? Backing up. Like I was kind of taking like the elevated position.
It seems like you're going the opposite way.
No, it was up there. It was definitely, upper hand, leader of the family kind of thing. It was really, really impressive if you saw it.
I have a banana.
Okay, that's great. So basically today we're just going to be chatting about mostly the last episode, what your guys' revelations have been, what you're thinking going forwards, because I think your next moves, this Kaylee kind of sitting out and us doing this chatting episode is almost like a blessing in disguise, because I really want to know what you guys are doing next so that I have some way to prepare for what you're going to do, because right now the amount of potential is completely fucking bonkers. So I want to get a bit of an idea of what you're doing. But first, we did have one question from chat. We're not going to do a lot of chat questions, but this one was too good. Somebody wanted
9 inches.
Okay. Somebody, that's also bullshit. Someone wanted to know how high the butler has counted. Because you told the butler to start counting, and I think you said you'd call back before they hit 5 or something like that. And it's been so many episodes. I have a running counter in the background. So for anyone who wants to know what the butler's count is currently at, it is at 74,439,806,212,915.443. And this is assuming that you can count 1 every second. It would take you 32 years to count to 1 billion.
Oh my God.
So just so we're clear, you're saying it's been 32 years?
I'm saying it has been 32 years times 439 times 74. So it's been roughly, 100 million years.
Oh boy.
Time works a little differently in a TVA.
It sure does. It's because that was what you wanted to test. You wanted him to count to 5, or I think you wanted him to just count, and you were going to call him back in 5 minutes and just see what he counted to, so you'd have some kind of a gauge of how quick time passed. But then you never actually counted. You never actually called him back, so you never found out how fucking far he counted. And the answer is very, very far.
Well, that's not good.
So that one was too good. So anyways, guys, last time was totally insane. It was a reveal that I have been sitting on and planning for a long time, and it went completely insane. It was I think kind of basically as perfect as I could have hoped, except that there was definitely one giant combat that I have basically just been copy pasting from session to session to session to session, because you guys keep on fucking dodging it. And I think you just put the nail in the coffin for that combat.
What was it?
Well,
10?
we'll see. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but
sure.
I will tell you that having the power of a planar key will dramatically trivialize combat if you so choose.
Okay, well, maybe we should, because I want to do it now. I want to fucking see what it is.
Well, because, one thing that Locke had been saying was that, you know, when you start wielding the big powers, you know, you can attract things from, you know, outer realms and stuff like that. Now, one thing I will say, this is one difference that I wanted to clear up. When Locke and Lu 2 were drawing the attentions of the other things, right? Drawing attention to themselves, that was weaving with the prime ink coins. And a planar key weaving only weaves with the 5 inks individually. They don't do prime ink weaving. So will it draw attention? You don't actually know for sure. You would have to know what other planar keys do and whether or not they face opposition and what kind of attention gets drawn to them. But just wanted to clear that up. The kind of attention that Lu and Locke were drawing was primarily due to the fact that they were using prime ink coins. But yeah,
so what you're saying is I'm completely safe to just fucking make myself an iced tea if I want to.
basically. But you know, you guys did worry about Volos. You worried that possibly weaving would, you know, using the planar key powers would attract the attention of Volos. I believe at least. And I thought you had some other concerns as well. So there are things to think about for situations that you might put yourselves in, you know, should you choose to wield this power. And there were 2 other things that were mentioned that I think are very important to discuss. One of which was Galdric wanted to prime all the party members to receive their own planar keys. You had said, you know, I would like to take the week to kind of, you know, figure that out kind of thing. But the thing is, in game time, it's going to be like moments. So that's definitely something we can do in the future for a future research project. But I think we're so kind of in media res for, you know, the wave breaker, for the Jack Cobb, for the Yoho boys and Big Boss and all that stuff, and the supposedly incoming fleet. I don't know that you're going to get to do anything like that right now, but it is something that's in your wheelhouse to kind of think about in the future. And the other thing that you brought up was going to the gold ink with you still having the blue key, and just kind of basically using the power of the key to try to bypass, you know, most of the hardships that you would have in the gold ink. And I think that is very interesting and something that I had potentially accounted for. But I just want to make sure that before next session starts, you guys have a little bit of time to kind of talk about what the plans going forwards would be. And ask me any questions if anything's unclear, like, you know, like the prime ink weaving versus the, you know, planar key weaving, or anything like that. And yeah, if there's anything in the campaign that you're not quite clear about, because there was a huge amount of like puzzle pieces kind of placed down last time, and if you're not sure where any of the puzzle pieces fit, definitely ask me. So yeah, what, you know, like Galdric or Venalis, what would your kind of ideal plan for next session look like?
I win all the RP.
Okay. So like you kill the other players, right? I
kill Slump last. I want him to watch.
Okay, perfect.
Shit.
Right? And then they're dead forever and they lose the RP because they're dead.
Yeah,
and then
I win.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll make sure to set up the award ceremony for you.
So one, before we begin, I need you to know that I made myself adult what are these? I made myself adult Lunchables Okay, one of my favorite like nighttime snacks. Okay, like I'm a little hungry. Remember those kid Lunchables where they have like the little crackers and the slices of cheese and the slices of ham? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where they
yeah,
have those up there? Okay, well, I get myself a fresh tomato with a side of salt with full size Colby Jack cheese, and I just kind of like break it apart. A full thing of Ritz crackers, and then fresh deli slices of ham. And I just kind of like deconstruct, put these into my mouth one by one, and it's fucking delicious. I just want you to, that's what my night is. That and talking right here. I'm so
That is amazing. Now I'm going to give you a pro life tip. This is going to be an incredible life hack, and you're going to notice immediate returns on this piece of advice.
Okay.
Adults just call that charcuterie.
True. It's true.
I would like to use my powers to smite the GM.
No.
I am an all annoying.
No, adult Lunchables is so good. That's so good. That's wonderful. I'm just saying, like, you sound 100 times more mature when you call adult Lunchables.
The word you're looking for is douchey. I sound more douchey. No, I'm gonna stick with my adult Lunchables. Go fuck yourself. Who's your shit?
All right.
Who the fuck does a charcuterie board? Just get a plate. What the fuck?
You don't need, I'm just saying, that type of meal is called charcuterie, and you don't have to call it adult Lunchables if you don't want.
You're an adult Lunchable.
Okay.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Aaron and I have a similarly masculine name for our similar meals. Venalis.
Thank you. What is it?
Yeah, we call it the
Nummy num num tum tum tum. Oh, big num num. Biggie num num snap. Tummy tum tum. Oh, yeah. Some airplane. Yo, right into my tum tum.
I fucking hate you.
That's what we prefer to call it.
I fucking hate you so much. I fucking hate you.
Guys, stop picking on Venalis. We're ruining his adult Lunchables, okay?
For real though, that sounds incredible, and I probably have that once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's actually
Deconstructed like meat and cracker snack cheese combos. Yep.
Yeah, I had no idea what charcuterie was. I thought it was a kind of cheese until Kaylee basically, bought some salami and some nice crackers and some nice cheeses and pickles kind of thing. And we just kind of ate it. And I was like, this is so good. All these different things are so good together. And she said something like, oh yeah, it's charcuterie. And I thought she was talking about the kind of cheese. I was like, I think it's just cheddar. And she's like, no, like the meal we're eating is called charcuterie. I was like, oh, I had no idea. I thought it was just like random bullshit. But yeah, no, if you have those kinds of things, it's charcuterie. And now I guess I sound douchey when I say that. I thought I sounded refined and adulted. Yeah, no, apparently I just sound like a douche.
I thought you were sophisticated. Nah, you're just that guy.
Yeah, I know. I thought I was sophisticated and adult, but now I'm fucking that guy. Great. God. Well, now I wish I had something like that.
I'm about to cut open this tomato.
And you have salt on your tomato?
Oh yeah, I salt my tomatoes.
I used to be into salt. Now I just a little bit of pepper. Just slice open the tomato, crack a little fresh pepper on it. Ooh, so good.
I've never tried that. I'll have to give it a shot.
It's very nice.
Next time though, because fuck you, I want my salt.
That's fair. I get it.
What the fuck
is that? Locke, you dead?
I have some very inconsiderate neighbors, so I'm dealing with that.
Gotcha.
What is that?
Wow.
What is
someone starting their crappy ass car in the back alley?
Holy shit!
Yeah,
dude.
I'm 3 floors up.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
I think they had to pull start the damn thing.
Yeah.
Holy
Wow. Jeez. Okay. So yeah, back to the question. Okay. Venalis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would your perfect plan kind of look like for moving forwards? Granted, now that Galdric has achieved the power that he has.
Personally, I would like to wrap up this ink with a nice bow, as in help the people we said we were going to help, try to set things right, try to bring balance, because that's kind of Galdric's like core, you know. So he would try to essentially deal with that. He would probably deal with Tickles in a hilarious manner.
Sure, yeah.
Tickles is obviously a very chaotic figure.
Yeah.
And I think was a power vacuum-esque to the Kraken being gone. So
yep.
I would probably, I wouldn't eliminate the Yoho boys, but I would reduce their number drastically. That way, so there it's not too. Pirates are kind of a representation of like ultimate free will. They don't want to have any authority to answer to, you know.
Yeah.
Just a real quick interjection. Just keeping in mind that we may have to worry about attracting things like the Pale Knight for using too much power.
Now, actually, that is a fantastic question. How does the Pale Knight deal with a planar key?
Yes.
Because I thought the Pale Knight was attracted to the lack of a planar key.
Okay, that is so very interesting.
Because like the last time it occurred was because there was too much, but there also wasn't anything to keep it in check. Right? There was nothing to hold it in you know, like no, you're not welcome here. We're fine.
This is very interesting, and I think I can answer this question. It'll be kind of spoilery, revealery, but I think I can answer it because I don't think I think the information only helps you. I don't think it ruins anything going forwards. So Pale Knight and the Oberith in general existed before existence existed, right? They existed in the complete absence of existence.
Right.
And then the universe as the prime ink existed, and the Oberith really hated that. But because it was kind of met power for power, the power of creation was equivalent to the power of non-creation, right, with the prime ink, that it was kind of a stalemate. And then the five inks were kind of shattered from that, or strewn from it, kind of thing, like strained out of it, into the 5 universes that we have now. And each of the 5 universes has 1/5 of the power of creation, kind of thing. And the Oberith can now kind of divide it. I mean, the dividing's already done. They can now begin to conquer the individual universes because they are so weak compared to the Oberith. And so what I did was the Oberith originate in traditional Dungeons and Dragons lore. The actual canon D&D has Oberith in it, and they have the Pale Knight as one of the Oberith. And so I created that as kind of the first ink that underwent a major assault by an Oberith. That was kind of that campaign, was that's a world that understands the word Oberith and that has dealt with them in the past, and the Pale Knight was trying to deal with it now. And the thing is while the powers of the non-creation of the Oberith are more powerful than the powers of creation of the plane, you know, there's still a lot to be said for the unpredictability of living beings who don't want to just be wiped out. And so that's why these Oberith's plans kind of continue to be foiled or set back, or for all anybody knows, they're operating exactly as intended and we just don't understand their plan yet. And so the Oberith were able to deal with the green ink largely because it was chosen first, and because indeed the planar key was then broken down. And so not only was it only 1/5 of the power of creation of a plane, the ultimate power in it was also further broken down to not be able to withstand an assault from it. And so that's kind of why you guys were introduced to the Oberith in the green ink. And the Oberith, as far as you know, they consider the power of a planar key, but it's not necessarily the power of a planar key that attracts them. Because if you remember, in the white ink, Kerr was going planet to planet using massive planar key weaving to suck out the life of hundreds of thousands and millions of people at a time. And so she was doing massive weaves. And as far as you know, you don't know of any Oberith that have tried to assault the white plane yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Okay. Solidifying that I'm just going to be reckless. Okay.
So yeah, you were saying wrap up the ink, help the people, don't eliminate the Yoho boys, but reduce their numbers dramatically.
Yeah. I would kind of like, not necessarily, I don't, there's a good thing with pirates on the fort and the things that they keep the good forces that be from turning good forces of evil. You know, it's kind of like you live long enough, you become the villain, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, you die the hero or live long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's that, you know, they kind of keep, I think they can provide a certain thing with that, but when they get too powerful, now they have once again become the villains themselves.
Yep.
Because the whole reason pirates even exist is not because they wanted to be evil, but it's because they wanted to live free.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And so I like to think that's how the Yoho boys started, is they wanted to live free, and then they got more powerful, and then no one else can stand up to us, and then they became the villain.
Yep. Absolutely. Honestly, everyone's always trying to have enough power to be the controlling force, but like the Yoho boys' ideal was never global domination. It was just to be a strong enough force that they could do what they wanted. And then things changed when Big Boss, left the Tolls and joined the Yoho boys and did have the goal of domination, masked in some sort of increased freedom, free from the yoke of the Kraken and the Navy. Now's the time to strike, get everything you want kind of thing. And greedy people will go insane when given the option of uncapped greediness.
Yeah.
Okay, so reduce the numbers dramatically, and then what was your kind of plan after that? What's your, let's say, through process of decision, you can Thanos snap your fingers and everything will be wrapped up. You just list it and it happens. And you literally go, boom, blue ink is done. What's the next move?
So I put everything in its proper place. In my big thing, and the very last thing I would do is I would set the Kraken free, and I would change the Kraken's
prerogative.
Yeah. I would change its priority. Instead of trying to keep balance, it would essentially transform into being able to sense people's motives. And if it could, and then from there it becomes a benevolent creature. So if there are people with ill intentions on the sea, essentially trying to assert world domination, for instance, they don't stand a chance. The Kraken would destroy their fleets. I would change it into a benevolent, knowing creature.
Gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. I like it. So no more innocent, traders getting their boats and lives smashed, just because it's fucking keeping the numbers even. A much more sense of insightful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay, perfect.
So something that could be an actual major threat, not like a petty thief or anything like that. Someone that has gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be like, oh, this he's trying to get back at his wife. No, nothing like that. I mean, like, something that would tip the scales, as in the Navy getting too strong and inserting its power over it. And you have, these captains and these admirals that just get way too big for their bridges, stuff like, bam, they're dead. Or these pirates that get way too big, or maybe a private force that gets way too big. It's just like, nope, that's the balance it needs to keep.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily I'm going to attack everything that's on the fucking sea. That's not balance.
Yep. Okay, perfect. I like it. And then, okay, so, you go, boom, snap your fingers. Everything's that way. What are your kind of next moves? Just in planning stages.
I don't know. I guess it's kind of a group decision. I would assume we would either, one, take the power that I currently have. Because you said it fits like a glove. Yep. We go to the gold ink. And like you said, I can use, once I'm there and I'm a planar key, I can just weave gold ink.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I would probably, I don't see why I wouldn't take it with me. I think it's probably safer than it is inside of a cage. As far as the attuning my party to the rest of the keys, I wouldn't want to do that yet. I figured that's the final battle thing with Volley Dog, because like you said, he has how many years and millennia ahead of me in terms of how much experience he has with even how to use this. That that's kind of what we would fucking Captain Planet his bitch ass. And then from there, I figured the gold ink would be kind of like Galdric's path to discovering how to fucking even be a planar key. He would, I don't know, I don't really know, because I don't want to. I think it would be smart of him to take it with him, but I, as an OOC, don't want to take it with him because I don't want to make everything trivial. So I think I would try to find a way essentially to handcuff Galdric in a sense of he's learning how to use certain aspects of it.
Yeah, I think I really, really appreciate that kind of not wanting to trivialize things. I think so. The thing to think about, and kind of one of the major stumbling blocks for you to consider with this plan is the fact that last ink, Lou was the green planar key for a little while. There was that moment they forged all the fragments back together, put it into Lou, and she was the planar key. And Volos tried to attack her, and she cast Bless, which
that fucking moment is gonna live forever, man.
And Volos was unable to touch her. He tried to grab her and it failed. And you guys suddenly thought, oh shit, oh my god, I can go toe to toe with Volos. And so when he showed up again, Lou was like, all right, motherfucker, let's do this. And as soon as the fight started, Volos raised his cube and pulled the key out of her. So this is the mechanic that should be kind of first and foremost in your minds when making the plan, is not necessarily the attention of the Oberith at this point. I mean, you should think about that, but the big thing is that literally this kind of already happened once. You guys became a planar key, and Volos showed up and pulled it out. And Locke wants to try to deal with that, but Locke has never been a planar key and doesn't understand Volos's cube, and so the chances of success, I will give a chance for success, but it will be at such a severe disadvantage that the chances don't look high. This is going to be a very, very real threat. And
what you're saying is, if I bring it, there's a chance I use it and lose it.
Yeah, basically, if you cage it in the chamber, it is 100% safe. That's the safe room. That's the video game safe room. That's retreating on loop, hero. When you bring all your supplies back to base, that's yours now. Going forward with it, is to move forward with the singular most powerful weapon this game can possibly come up with. But you don't really know how to use it in a safe way. And there is the potential to lose it, and losing it is half of what would happen. Volos would gain it. And that comes with a whole other, mixed bag. And so I don't want to scare you away from this. I want you to try to do this as little metagamey as possible. Like, don't worry about trivializing my campaign. When I was writing this, I had absolutely accounted for the possibility of you moving forwards with the planar key as a weapon that you wield. I even have accounted for trivializing Volos's cube and learning how to use the key properly. So if you can crack those nuts, I still have a campaign for you guys. So don't worry about ruining the campaign or the story, because sometimes a brilliant story told shorter than it could have been is as impactful as a long story that is full of flavor. So don't worry. The campaign has got it covered no matter which way you move forwards. But I just want to make sure that I don't want to TPK you guys because you didn't know something or didn't think through something, kind of thing. So that's basically what you should think about, is that Volos can take the key for himself. As far as you know, right?
Yeah, we would be literally guarding the key 24/7 anytime it was out in the field.
So
we kind of have to.
So, would it be possible? No, that's still stupid.
It's good. You got to think through all this stuff, man.
It's just so scary.
I know.
So scary. What do you guys think?
I was just gonna say, so like Milton, what do you think? What do you think would be the best path forwards? Not necessarily just what would Slump do, but what would the most ideal path forwards kind of look like for you in the campaign, kind of thing?
Sure. I mean, if I'm being totally honest, I think whatever sort of stabilizing things we can do for the blue ink, any of the dead obvious things, maybe do a couple of things that would be subtle enough to not necessarily give the impression that there is a divine hand at work. For example, if some work was needed to be done in order to solidify the power of the Tower of Vartalin, then maybe do that. If there's something that needed to be done in order to like basically, it shouldn't be totally one-sided in terms of like the balance of power should not be super one-sided. Like, everyone seems to sort of say, oh fuck, well if Sen comes around we're just fucked, and the tower can fucking pray and hope to find a tiny spot of refuge, but really probably everyone's fucked. It shouldn't be like that. There should be more of a sense of power, and that if something or someone were to step out of line, that like there will be recourse. So whatever those sorts of balances would look like I don't know if in order for the Kraken to be the arbiter of good, Tickles needs to be the arbiter of bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if something like that would be needed, but basically what I'm really driving at here is that I think pretty much Slump would basically recommend doing the gold ink the same as all the other inks. Like, go in quiet, not flashy, try to find the key via the same sort of means that we usually do, because I'm just worried that, we haven't tried combining any planar keys or encasing planar keys in party members for any length of time before, and I just worry that a step of that magnitude might be something that would get us into a fight that we're not prepared for right now. And I think that taking our time with the gold ink will allow us to understand more of what we're up against in terms of finding a unifying theory that joins all of the inks. And I think we need that time. I don't think we have a very good grasp on sort of what we're up against right now.
Yep.
And I think that while we undoubtedly have something pretty powerful by having access to this key and complete godlike power over an entire ink, I don't think it gives us enough of a leg up to stand a commanding chance against some of the powers that we've already seen, like the Pale Knight, the Oberith, even things like Kerr were a bit fucking insane. And so I just feel like the sorts of things that could be brought out of the dirt by using the powers of multiple planar keys, or even really one, that's my big concern, may sort of the Greaves that the dwarves that dug too greedily and too deep and woke up the Balrog. I would worry that we would do the same thing, but in the ink world. So yeah, but I'm totally open to other perspectives, but my own personal perspective is that I just worry that we may be getting a bit, because the gold ink is the last ink before the white ink. No, is the gold ink the last ink?
And then red.
Second to last. Yeah,
and then red. Yeah. So I mean that's my own thinking is that
I 100%, by the way, 100%. I'm not walking into the fucking red ink until we're all attuned, man.
Yeah, fucking seriously, right? Fuck.
Okay. All right. I like it. That's very good to know. And Lastiel, what are your thoughts on, what the kind of wrap up of the blue ink looks like ideally, and what kind of moving forwards looks like ideally for you if the plan were to be executed perfectly?
For me or for Locke?
Good question. I would say for you right now. I would say for you, because I want to make sure basically the metagame elements aren't misunderstood, and that I understand what your understandings and plans are, and I can make sure that I haven't misled you guys or anything like that.
So totally agree with wrapping up, the blue ink with, making sure balance is achieved. And if one side does gain power, I feel like it has to be kind of like one wave brings up all ships, or the wave brings up all ships type of thing. If any one power wants to get more powerful, they have to work together so that they all become more powerful. Like they're not just stuck in this kind of thing, like we're stuck in the Bronze Age, that type of thing.
Ah, sure.
We don't, I feel like the ink needs to be able to let its citizenry, or the people who dwell within it, live their lives and the things that come naturally in the course of that. So if a new technology comes along and they've jointly worked together to kind of come to this, maybe there's a better sail or new class of ship or whatever, maybe they have their own variations, and each nation or power has something that can compete, that type of thing. So like, achieve kind of a balance like Galdric and Milton, or Venalis and Milton were saying, but like also allow them to be able to kind of move forward as well.
And that's one of the things why I was like, I definitely want it to be able to essentially sense intentions. Yeah. Because that's what allows it to move forward. There's a big difference between like, things moving forward through the sake of war and things moving forward for the sake of prosperity.
Balance. Oh
yeah. Yep.
So other than that, like I know that's broad, but not really broad. So like, I think that Venalis and Milton have said it well enough that I don't feel like I need to repeat it.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
When it comes to the post of that, I would actually kind of vouch to go back to the bar. Like I know the party doesn't know, but I would imagine like we would try at least, because we know something's up. We know now about the organization with Volos, and if we can get in contact with the people who are loyal, which I imagine is almost the entire organization, Volos is going to have to split his attention. He's going to have to fight a war on two fronts. So that might be something worth looking. Yeah, that might be something worth looking into. It sounds like outside meta wise, it seems like only Galdric is affected. Like he's essentially been censored from the organization.
Yep.
But everything else is running as planned or as usual, and the only one that kind of thinks it's kind of fishy is Betty.
Yep.
So I guess we would try to, or at least my suggestion would be to go to the bar, try to get Betty and the gang along. Kirby and his badassness, like God knows where he is right now, but the fact that he was able to fucking punt Volos out of the white ink says something.
Yeah, I was wondering how many people remembered that narrative intro, because that was not a throwaway made up narrative intro, right? Like there was something there.
Right, exactly. Like it's just like clearly someone's been drinking his milk, so like I feel like getting back to the bar and the white ink might benefit us, not only because we could possibly split Volos' attention, but we can get intel to what they've discovered so far and what we've discovered so far, and we both can use that intel. Getting into the gold ink is not hard, like because Lutu has always been able to get us to an ink, so I imagine it wouldn't be hard this time around. Hell, if we wanted to go quieter, we probably could find some way to do it. I don't know if there's actually like a disturbance or anything like that. But I imagine with the priming coins, probably not. Like like it's like the perfect cast every time when you use a priming coin. So as for the key, I'm with Milton on this. Like I would prefer to have it secured, just because we need intel. At least as a party, we need intel. Like we know kind of the overarching threat, but we don't know much more than that. We don't know weaknesses. We don't know complete motivations. We don't know why Volos is doing the things he's doing. Like one of the things that has me scared is when Volos tried to come in on the coattails of an Oberith, like when Lou cut the string. So something tells me he's not only trying to get the key, but he's trying to get the power of an Oberith as well. Or, because it seems like he was trying to take over what Pale Knight was doing somehow, some way. So I feel like given kind of the huge hints that we've kind of run into in the campaign, that key might be better to be secured until we know we have a solid attack plan against not only Volos, but the Oberith and the Red Ink. Because the gold ink seems to be like the safety ink, like it's the one ink he can't get into.
Yep.
So we can actually make a plan without him peeking in, that type of thing. We're kind of like, it's not an echo chamber, but it's like a safe place, essentially, a safe ink for us to kind of learn more and gather more information. And it sounds like there's actually kind of like somewhat intelligent people that know about these inks in the gold ink. So it might be kind of like our bastion type of ink to kind of set this all up so that we can decide what to do with the planar keys, what we can decide to do with our joint forces, the bar, magic items if we get any, etc., etc., etc.
Yep. Yep.
Also, that was the other reason I wanted to go to the bar. Magic items, that'd be great. I love magic items. I love loot. Just especially ending an arc. Give me that loot. Give.
Yep.
So Lastiel's motivation is, intel and loot.
Yep.
Locke's motivation would be like intel, secure the key, blah 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 blah. But I like me some loot.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, that is kind of the one thing that you guys get to do every time, right? At the end of each ink, it's a trip to the bar, and you guys get some crazy magic
Goodie
items.
bags. Fuck yeah.
Exactly. Okay. No, that's very interesting. Okay. I think this is very interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want us to? Maybe we should wait to get Lou's perspective too before we sort of decide how we want to move forward, or is that the sort of thing that you would like to? Should we leave the ultimate veto power up to Lou? Lou can sort of decide among the options we discuss one she would like to take. What do you guys think about that?
I feel like that's something like we're kind of on a stage right now, and that's fine and dandy, but it's also something that Tech could do kind of in the background too. And we can next session kind of quickly collaborate what we all want to do, because we've done it today, and literally adding Lou's or Kaylee's input would be pretty quick if he already had done it, and she's just going to repeat it to us, which I imagine it's 100% let's wait for Kaylee, but I feel like if Tech did it in the background and then she just kind of told us a summary of what she told Tech, we'd probably be good to go.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the more these guys talk, I'm definitely okay with taking it to locking up the power.
Yep.
Because like I said, it definitely would be a little risky. Can I request a neat feature?
Yeah.
I want to be able to call on my power for completely useless flavor items, and it only ever works if I roll a net 20.
Ooh.
That's fun.
That is such a. You know what? Yes. You've said it. You said it's not for power. You said it's not for power, and it won't be so frivolous because you need to roll the 20 for it. So yes, I will just say yes. I love that idea so much. I think that's just absolutely fantastic. So if you end up going with,
I'm gonna tell everyone in this realm that I'm a god and watch my majestic power as I create fireworks and nothing happens, and I just look like a fucking idiot with my hands in the sky.
But you're in your home ink. It would work. It would totally work.
Well, here it would, but not in the gold.
Yeah,
that's great.
I can't wait for you to go to the gold ink, be like, I am a god. Behold my powers. I create fireworks from nothing. Rolls a nat 20. It's like,
God.
Oh shit, fireworks. Like, oh my god. Do it again.
Again.
Your god is tired. That is taxing me. I'm gonna go take a nap. Bye.
My god is tired. Wait,
God
you made
sleepy.
a little bit of fireworks and you're already tired? God sucks.
God needs a nap.
Not as young as I used. Not as spry as I used to be.
Okay, perfect. So I think what I'll do is I'll tell Kaylee about this. And I think probably the biggest thing is a little bit what Locke brought up is intel, like info. You guys are very worried about the things that you don't know, right? Like you don't want something to get super fucked up because of something you didn't know, right? You don't want Volos or an Oberith or something else that you've never even heard of or thought of to suddenly come in and fuck up everything because you decided to go forward with a planar key. And so I think intel is going to be huge. I think asking questions is going to be huge. Finding NPCs who know stuff is going to be very important. I think it sounds like I think I know what to expect. A couple things I wasn't expecting, but I think that's actually very, very good. And
actually, I was curious. You said interesting. Like, what's interesting? Or just kind of our perspectives on the next step, or
What's interesting to me is I think
feel free to not answer that if
no, I think I can answer it without saying anything. What is interesting to me is how do I put this? It's interesting to me how you guys are how do I it's kind of like I guess I was thinking there would be I guess just a more explicit utilitarian use of the key itself. And it's very like reserved so far from what I've heard. And it's very interesting to me because in the white ink, as soon as Galdric got the planar key, like he was like creating forests in the middle of space and waterfalls falling off asteroids and just like insane crazy shit just started popping up into existence with this kind of unlimited power. It just kind of exploded all over the place in wanton spontaneous creation. And in the green ink, you guys kind of decided to go toe-to-toe with Volos and then immediately full bailed on that plan and basically locked it in your vault. And I thought I felt kind of regret from not using the green key more from you guys, but and so I thought that you'd want to be using the blue one more. I really expected to be mitigating a lot more of God creation, but it sounds very moderate from what I'm hearing, and I think that's very interesting.
Well, I mean, you know, I think you put a lot of effort in here, and I think if we were full on, you know, our characters, yeah, I think we'd be a little bit more willy-nilly with it, but using it too much would what's the word I'm looking
I was just gonna say I think what you're probably driving at, I'm starting to get sort of a similar feeling to the last couple of Harry Potter movies. It's like we're now understanding, we have a more understanding of our abilities and our powers, and we probably feel like we're able to fuck more shit up, but we're also increasingly cautious because we feel like while we're growing in power, so is the evil.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
We gotta be, so we have to sort of take guarded steps because whereas after the first ink or two, the sorts of things that we would be doing to reshape the world in our image, trademark, would not be as much of a risk to notifying anybody unsavory. I think that concern has grown over time. I think at least me personally, Slump personally, is much more wary that the use of any power beyond what is strictly necessary, it seems to bear an increasing risk of increasingly shitty consequences, like a fucking rope that takes your arms off.
Right. Yeah.
I know you walked that one back.
Totally.
But
no, but yeah. No, that's so fascinating to me because it's 100% accurate. That is a 100% absolutely accurate read on the situation. Is that it's ramping up on both sides, right? As you guys learn more, gain more, do more. The other sides, the other powers that be, are also ramping up. And the thing is I hadn't thought I had made that quite clear enough yet. And so I genuinely
perfectly clear.
yeah, so that's very interesting to me. I had genuinely planned on you guys kind of being like a fucking kid that just found a bazooka and firing off a bunch of rounds before they learned that they blew up their neighbor's yard kind of thing. And so I was really kind of expecting to have you guys learn more firsthand what the dangers were, but it sounds like you guys are kind of already quite wary. You're like that. I was so shocked last time when Galdric got the key, and at very first was like, holy fuck, I can do anything. I have limitless potential. And then immediately dialed it all the way back and was like, I'm not going to do anything right now. Like there is so much impact and like secondary effect on anything I would do that I'm going to do nothing right now. And I was so shocked. I thought for sure as soon as Galdric got the planar key, it would be fucking just nuclear bombs on the bad guys and teleporting to the good guys and just going boop 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 boop. Everything's fixed.
Does that sound like me? That doesn't.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was expecting more wanton use at the first, but you guys have snapped up so quick that the danger is so real that I'm very interested in your guys' plans. They seem very interesting to me and not at all what I would have expected earlier on in the campaign.
I feel that where that kind of hit home, I guess, like, and this is before I joined the campaign, but I feel like that happened a lot in the Green Ink because they were chasing the planar key, found out it was fragmented or broken or not really a person or in a person, and then they went through all this trial and error trying to get the damn key, and when they finally got it, big bad Oberith, which is something that exists in the world, showed up and went nope, and off to hell they go.
Yeah.
So even though it's not the key, there is a there was a moment of like, oh fuck, like other than Volos, and this is my opinion. Again, I wasn't in the campaign, or at least I was wasn't in the campaign at that point. But from what I observed, the Hell arc and parts leading up to it, like literally the pain of just trying to find that key and then finally realizing where it is, and then the Oberith are introduced, and like and just seeing what they are capable of compared to the player character, just kind of like, okay, if they can do this to us, imagine how much worse if they had the key, that type of thing.
Yep, that makes perfect sense.
Correct me if I'm wrong, like Venalis, Milton, like please feel free.
No, yeah, I think that makes sense.
You can go ahead. Sorry. Say things, Slump.
I was saying, I think there's a lot of good points. Go ahead, Galdric.
Oh, I was just gonna say that normally I would have, but Tech has fucking traumatized the shit out of me.
How so?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna do this. Oh, an Oberith. Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna help this rope. My arms are gone. Hey guys, look, I have the power. Volos is fucking stealing the power.
Okay, well that's really cool. That's really, really, really interesting. Okay, I think from what I'm hearing, I think I've got a very good idea of what you guys are gonna. I mean, honestly, to be totally honest, what you guys are about to do, I have no fucking clue. I'm just gonna prepare for everything because I have no fucking clue how big or small the planar key moves are gonna be. But I think once you guys are done with the blue ink, I think I understand what your kind of path forwards is going to be, because there were a couple ways that I was thinking it could go, and I understand what the plan is.
Excellent.
Yeah. Guys, I honestly think that's kind of it for tonight. I just wanted to get a read of the situation, and kind of get your ideas for what you wanted to do next. And we'll hit the ground running next time. I'll talk about all this with Kaylee, and you guys will basically do this all again next session, but way faster and in character, so that if your characters have a little bit different motivation than your players, you can deal with that. But yeah, it'll basically be handled at the start of the next session.
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
Good.
awesome.
good.
Thank you guys for showing up for the quick little chit chat session. This has been really, really helpful.
Heck yeah. I'll see you guys next week.
Yep. See you guys next week.
So can't wait